Hello ladies, welcome to the Combat Challenge group. This is take 2 of this video, as most of you guys know. So, you get me in my pajamas now. I looked cuter this morning, but now I'm wearing pink polka dot pajama pants for you. I wanted to take some time to get you guys properly set up for your challenge. I know there are a lot of questions, a lot of the things that you're experiencing are new. You sort of you've bought into this whole like, we're doing a group and I commit to these activities, but you don't really know what's going on yet. And I want to make sure that we can all get started off on the right foot on Monday, and really make sure that you have everything that you need. So, first thing I'm going to do, actually I have a list. Let's open my list because I will get distracted and talk about other things. Okay. The first thing that I want to do is go over the items that actually came in your package. Now, the majority of you received a challenge pack. Most likely, you did not previously own the combat workout program. The challenge pack is going to have included, of course, your bag of Shakeology. And I do recommend the bag because it does come with 30 servings instead of 24. So you can get like these little packets. Look, this is my office, can you tell? These little packets. They're little, like they're good for traveling, but they only come in sets of 24. And they're the same price as 30. So you basically get a shipment every 30 days, and then for 6 days you don't have any Shakeology. So I recommend the bulk bag, and if you need to travel, I just put them in like Ziploc snack size bags and take them out that way. You would have received a little information about what the Beachbody Challenge is, and then you would have received the following items. Let's see. All over my desk. Okay. The first thing that you would have gotten a little package like this, right? And it would have been, this is what your gloves would have been in. I imagine the program wasn't in this thing. I don't remember correctly. Okay, good God, don't keep that stuff in there apparently. You would have received a little explanation about taking your pictures and getting your free t-shirt at the end. You would have received a free pass to a Les Mills class. And from what I understand, this is for any Les Mills class. So you can take body comp or body flow, body attack, body combat, of course, which would be the equivalent to this in home version. You should have received a little measurement tracker card. We're not going to use the card. You can, if you'd like. It's fine with me. But we're actually going to use the Team Beachbody online version. And the reason we're going to do that is because I want to make sure that you have a place to keep your measurements every 30 days, especially for those of you who are going to go beyond this challenge, because many of you have, like 100 pounds to lose. Well, you're not going to lose it in the next 60 days, right? And you want to have a record every 30 days for the next 6, 8, 10, 12 months of how you did. And we can look back and go, look how many you did lost overall, look how much was for combat, look how much was for the next program you did, etc. So you're more than welcome to use a little paper, but we're going to use the online version, which there's instructions for you in the group. Also should have received 2 books. Familiar for you guys? Oh, this one? Okay. So I want to go over just a couple of things in each book. The fitness guide, which mine's a mess already because of course I got it wet already. Of course I did. The first thing I wanted to go over is on page 46, I believe. Yeah. Page 46 has the Les Mills Combat Warrior schedule. That is the default schedule for this challenge group. It is a combination of the workouts that come in the base package that come with the challenge group. Doesn't require too much equipment. There's like a little bit of lifting, but you can do it without weights. Totally up to you. And it's going to have 2 rest days on it, which is awesome. Getting to only have to do 5 days a week. So that's the program that we are going to follow by default. If for some reason you already own the program, or you decided to go by the upgrade discs, or you're very fit and you want to take it a little further, you can use one of the other 2 schedules. I don't care. It's fine. But I know that it has come up in the group already. What schedule am I supposed to be following? So Les Mills Combat Warrior, page 4647. That's the one we're following. The only other thing I wanted to point out really quickly was the Team Beachbody Club membership that's on page 54. So I'm going to speak to the meal plans in a little bit. But what you get with the club membership is going to be your access to the full meal planner past your 30-day free service that's going to come with your challenge pack. You also receive 10% off all your future orders, so your next bite of Shakeology, etc. And you have access to the VIP chats with the trainers. So sometimes, like Dan and Rach might pop on and do a special chat just for people who are club members, and you guys get access to that. So that's just something to be aware of what comes with your club membership. And the nutrition guide is going to be kind of a bigger deal in our lives. Obviously, the schedule is available online. You won't necessarily need the fitness guide very often, but you will need the nutrition book. So, first thing I would like to point out is that we are going to be doing together the first week, somewhere, page 12, the 7-day metabolic jumpstart plan. And this is a low-calorie plan that's going to kickstart your metabolism. And the reason why it's going to happen is we're going to get you eating 5 times a day. You're going to experience what it's like to eat in an appropriate interval for your body. And the other thing that this is going to accomplish is we're going to try some new foods. And I think it's really important that we all remember that what we've done thus far may not be the best way. Otherwise, we might be at our goals already. So I realize that not everyone's going to be excited about trying new foods or trying foods that you just haven't tried in a long time and kind of decided that you don't like. However, for just the 7 days, these foods are not optional. You have to follow the 7-day meal plan unless you have allergies or religious issues. And I looked over the menu and I didn't see a place where there's no pork on it, there's no meat, no beef and cheese together or anything. I don't see any religious issues in this one. But I mean, if you're lactose intolerant, cottage cheese might be an issue, right? So, unless you have a real dietary issue, you have to eat it. If you just don't like it, that's too bad. And for this 1 week, you're going to do it anyway. And that's just the way that it's going to go. So I don't want to hear like, oh, I don't like tuna. Sorry, you're doing it. It's one of the things that we're going to learn to be better at. Most of you guys know that I spent a long time teaching myself how to like foods that I thought I didn't like, but I just didn't know how it is that you learn to like foods. And we'll talk about that more as the group goes on. Now, past the 7 days, you have 2 choices. You can go into the next, 30 pages of this book and make a meal plan based on the numbers on page 38, where you simply take your weight, times it by 12, and that's how many calories you need to eat in order to use this plan and lose weight. And that's going to have a nice little layout for you, like when should you eat what and all that. You can build your own meal plan. That's one choice. Your other choice is to activate the free membership that came with your challenge group or challenge pack that you bought and use the Team Beachbody meal planner. And I will actually be posting in the group a 20-minute long video about how to swap out every ingredient, how to say you don't like red meat, how to put I'd rather have this for breakfast, or this is a favorite of mine, or move my Shakeology to the afternoon, all of that. I will get you all the information to customize that meal planner. The meal planner is pretty cool. I like that it makes a shopping list for you, and it separates the shopping list by area of the store. So it's like, all right, here's all my dairy, here's all my produce, right? So that's a lot easier. If you need a meal plan, like a hard and fast, don't let me think about it, I need a plan, that's the direction you want to go. If you're a guidelines person and you get sort of rebellious when someone's telling you what you can and can't do, then you're going to want to go by the book. Because you can swap in and out recipes, you can choose other things that equal that same calorie level and do that instead. So you guys know yourselves best, and you know what's going to help you be most successful. So just choose one. I don't care which one it is. Since we're on the subject of meal plans, you do know that one of the commitments that you made was to track your food in something, whether it be MyFitnessPal, Spark People Lose It, the Team Beachbody one, whatever it is, to track what you're eating. And there's been a little concern about tracking it and that being difficult and not wanting to do that and hating tracking and all of this. I wanted to explain to you what the rules are going to be about tracking. I totally went on a tangent, by the way. I'm gonna have to go back to what was in your box. I got distracted. Anyway, the rules with the food tracking are for the first 7 days, we're all gonna track all of our food, and it should all look pretty much the same, except for maybe the order you eat things or whatever, right? Because we're all on the 7-day metabolic jumpstart. That is just for practice. It's so that you can learn how to use it, so you can set up favorites, so you can all start seeing each other and getting like an understanding of how MyFitnessPal works or Spark People or whatever you're using. After that, the tracking is optional unless for 2 consecutive Fridays you do not have a weight loss. With this program, with this diet, there isn't really a reason that you wouldn't have some weight loss unless you were not being honest with yourself about what you're putting in your body. So, if you have 2 consecutive weigh-ins, which I'll talk about Friday weigh-ins later, you do have to track your food, and I will ask for it every day because we can't. There's no point for me to put you through something 60 days, right, and like not teach you anything, and not get you to the point where you're making the right decisions on the nutrition side. So we're definitely going to be using the tracking, but if you can handle yourself and you can be successful without it, I'm fine with that. So those are your choices. So just jumping back to what else was in your box. You had the clam shell, and it should have 5 DVDs and everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Okay, 5 DVDs in it for most of you. So you'll have everything that you need. The empty spots are supposed to be empty. There's actually a little note in there. They figured it out that if you want these extra DVDs, that you could order them separately. I think they're $30 for the whole rest of the DVDs, which will be nice if you're done. Let's say we finish this one and you're like, well, I want to do it again, but I want to kick it up a notch because I'm stronger now. Okay, well, for $30 you can get the rest of them and do round 2 and do the harder schedule or whatever you want to do. Something that you may or may not have purchased are the gloves. These are the gloves from the site. You'll see them in the videos. Here are my thoughts on the gloves. They run big because martial arts gloves, or whatever kind of gloves these are supposed to be, are meant to have those wraps under them. If you guys ever seen anyone with boxing gloves on, they have cloth like wraps around their head. So they're big. They're really big. So I have a medium. I have gigantic hands for a chick, and they're huge. So I went and got smalls. So go small. Get small gloves if you decide to get them. Also, let me look up the website really quickly. There's a website that you can get some really cool ones. That's not how you spell that. Okay. What's it called, you guys? Crap. Okay, I'll find it and I'll put it in the group. But he's got cool ones. It's got like camouflage ones and like pink ones that are for breast cancer and stuff like that. They're like $40 instead of 10 or 15. But if that's something that you're interested in, you can buy them from there as well. You don't need them or anything. It's just that they kind of feel like they feel cool. Make you feel like badass a little bit. So that's all the stuff that came in your box. So we finished that part. Let's see. So you know what to do. Schedule we covered. Meal plan we covered. Book we covered. Sweet, we're there. Okay. So weigh-in rules. The weigh-in rules are very simple. You don't weigh in until Friday. Ever. It's not negotiable. Not even remotely up for discussion. You stay off your scale, except for Friday morning. Now, I understand that I have some scale addicts in this group. It's okay. It happens to every group. Um, you gotta let it go. You have to let it go. Some things that people have done to get creative to get rid of their scale is take the batteries out, hide it, put it in the trunk of their car, put it at their neighbor's house, get rid of it altogether and only weigh in at like the local gym or the local Target. Sometimes I've had people just like go to the store and jump on a scale, which is kind of dangerous because you never know what the scale's going to say because they're not the same, but concept is still there. Um, it is you cannot get on the scale more than once a week. However, you have to get on the scale once a week, and that's because we need to be tracking your progress. Right? You guys have goals. We need to make sure that you're meeting them. The only way to be sure of that is to have your weigh-ins. Now, the first week will probably go a little weird, especially if you've been relatively inactive for a while. Very possibly you'll actually gain weight that first week, and it's not because you actually gained weight. It's because your body's adjusting, and so then that all comes off the second week. That's fine. So just be prepared for that. But most of the time, it'll just be going in the right direction. We're all doing what we're supposed to be doing, so you should be fine. Um, there's a document in the group. You guys all saw it in your getting started checklist where you added your name. It's very simply just your name at the top. You don't put an actual weight on it. I know some people are concerned about that. Just put week one, minus 3 pounds. Week two, minus one. Whatever you were minus or plus that week. And that's how I know if you've been fluctuating proper, like going the right direction, or if maybe you're gaining, if you had a bad week, like what's going on, right? I don't recommend weighing in on if it's your period because it will mess you up emotionally. If you know damn well that you're like ragingly PMSing and you're gonna start your period tomorrow, just let the group know. Be like, not weighing in this week, ladies. Like, can't do it. Can't do it. Like, because you can fluctuate up to like 5-7 pounds, and I don't want you to have an emotional breakdown over something that will be gone in 4 days anyway. So that's okay. Just let the group know what's going on, and maybe make a note in your weight document so we know why you didn't weigh in. Okay. The phone calls. The phone calls are super fun. Um, so the phone calls are twice a week. You have a choice of Monday or Thursday, and they are Monday at 6 Pacific time and Thursday at 5 Pacific time. I know that I sound unsure, but that's correct. You'll simply dial in, and I will explain what the calls are about when we get on the calls. One per week is required, but you're more than welcome to come to both. Many people like the support of coming to both and like to get to know more of the girls. So that's totally up to you. There will be people on that phone call from other programs, so you actually will announce yourself when you get on the call, and you'll say, "Hi, this is so and so from Combat," and then I know where you came from, what program you're doing. So when I look at my list as we're going through the call, if you're asking a question, I can look and quickly glance and say, "Oh, she's in Combat. That means that she's on this nutrition guide." It's helpful to give you the proper advice. Um, the only exceptions made for calls are going to be work and school, things you cannot get out of. If your priorities were already in line the way that they should have been, you wouldn't necessarily be here. So I realize this might take a shift in priority for you, but it's a good one. It's a positive one. I've been told that these calls are the reasons why people don't quit. That they are the life changing moments, and there's some crying, and I don't record them for a reason. I don't record them because we get really personal sometimes on something. Some of them are just lighthearted and fun, and we set goals and do a lot of things, but sometimes they're really personal, and I don't want you guys to be worried about there being like recordings floating around in the world. So I don't record these calls. You do need to be on them live. Partner. So one of the things that I do in our challenge group is I will give you a partner. Early on in the challenge group, probably right before it starts, I'll do an introduction post. An introduction post will actually provide me quite a bit of information because I'll simply ask you, where are you from? What do you do? Tell us about your kids. Tell us about your spouse. And what are you doing here? Why did you join this challenge? And well, actually, everyone, of course, will comment and read on that same thread, and you'll all get to know each other, and you'll get to read it. It'll be really cool. And I'll also use that information to pair you up later with a partner. And this partner's be somebody that you talk to every day. And your relationship will be whatever your relationship is. That's up to you. But it will be every single day. Some people, they make it a thing that they're going to text each other their 3 meals a day out of their 5 or whatever. Or they're going to send wake-up texts for their workouts. Or they're going to send each other meal plans. Or they're going to have a FaceTime or a Skype once a week, whatever it is, in addition to, texting every day. Whatever it is, that's fine. I don't care how these relationships evolve. That's up to you, as long as you're in contact once a day. Now, obviously, if you're going on vacation or, something's going to happen where you're not going to have access to a phone or whatever, happens, you just need to let your partner know, so that they are not looking for you and thinking, oh, she's probably falling off the wagon, she's probably somewhere binge eating, right? Like, so just make sure that they know what's going on. The partner piece is probably the coolest piece because you end up, the challenge group whole situation, right? You end up with these amazing women as your like BFFs on Facebook forever, but then you get this one person that you get to make this extra connection with, and you really get to be friends. Talking about life and your struggles, and I have seen some of the best friendships come out of accountability partners from the challenge groups, and it's just so awesome. Because of that, it's pretty much the one reason that I will kick you out of the group if you're not participating. Most times people wax and wane in the challenge group. I've always got the one that's just like not doing what they're supposed to do. I don't kick them out. I want them to be successful, right? So I'll try to bring them back in. We'll talk. I'll do whatever I need to do. When it comes to your partner, if you are being a bad partner, you're done. Because I don't mind if you're jeopardizing your own success, because that's your decision to make, and unfortunate as it may be, like, it does happen. I sometimes lose a challenger here and there. I'm not going to let you jeopardize someone else's, and you did commit to having a partner. So if you don't hear from your partner in a couple of days, please let me know. I'll reach out to them. We'll find out if they're okay. And if they're if they're continually being a poor partner, like, it's done. You're done. You're out. So that is the one thing that I'm really serious about. Please hear me when I say that. Okay. Personal development. This part is awesome. Okay. So one of the things that I have experienced or figured out from my many challenge groups that I've run is that people, if you don't end up overweight without having a little bit of stuff you need to work on, you know? And one of the ways that we can, I guess, attack that side is by doing a little bit of personal development. And the book that we chose for this group is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And this book is amazing. Now, you can get it in book form, you can get it on iTunes, you can get it in audio, you can, the PDF, the first chapter is actually available online for free, so if you need to wait to order your book, you can start anyway. It's like $20 in the bookstore. It's way cheaper everywhere else, so I recommend getting it everywhere else. The audio is more expensive than the book. It's like $36 or something. But again, first chapter is free online. You can get it on iTunes, and I think it's like $12 on Amazon. This book is amazing. It is amazing. It basically explains to you step by step how every big loss and win that you have in your life is a consequence of a series of choices, and how those little things that you do every day add up. And it talks about finances, relationships, weight loss, of course. It talks about all these aspects of your life that could be helped by the compound effect and can be hindered by the compound effect. So it's definitely something that, to me, helps people in all aspects of their life. Now, for those of you who immediately are like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Personal development with self-help? I'm out, right? You're going to like the book the most, guaranteed. That's what always happens. If you have a hard time reading like I do, I only have this one because it's autographed. I didn't actually read this book. I listened to it because 3 pages into something like that and I'll be passed out. Now, something like 50 Shades of Grey, Twilight, riveted, right? This stuff, for some reason, can't get through it, even though I really enjoy personal development. I can't physically read it. So I listen to my personal development books. So I got it on audio. So that's a choice if you have a hard time. But I have never had a single person tell me they didn't get something out of this book. And I mean, I've had probably 1,000 people read this book. And every one of them has gotten something out of it. For the people who got only a little bit out of it, they came in really, really not wanting to do it, and then there's people who just got so much out of it that they've recommended it, they've bought it for friends. I mean, they just love it. They reread it every time they join a new challenge group of mine. It's a really good book. You will enjoy it, I promise. It's one chapter a day. It starts in week, or one chapter a week. Damn, a day, that'd be obscene. It starts in week 2. So you have the pre-week when you're watching this video, and then you have week 1, and all that time to get your book. So I realize you don't always have the extra money or the time to go do it right away. So you have some time. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the rules for posting. That's where we'll start. Okay. So there's going to be a couple of things that happen every day in the group. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get a combat program related post. And that's going to be something like, here's some information about how to make your punches longer. How did you feel about the plyo workout? Are the gloves helping your form? Make sure you're, watching your knees. And here's a video from Dan and Rach. Check out what they have to say. And don't forget to take your measurements today. Stuff like that, right? Just like the automatic type, necessary information for you. That'll happen once a day. Another thing that you're going to get once a day is a personalized question from me, and or assignment. And that's going to be something like, Motivation Monday, please everyone post your favorite motivational quote, motivational song, what song gets you excited. It's like, post your favorite motivational image, whatever. Then maybe like tell all Tuesdays, like tell the group 3 things that we don't already know about you, whatever. Wine Glass Wednesday is really fun. We all drink our Shakeology out of wine glasses or some other really fun, unique glass and take a picture and we post it. Thankful Thursday is pretty one of my go-tos that, we're like, what are you grateful for today? And we go through in that manner. You are expected to respond to those. They're not time consuming. They're simple, like, how long does it take you to write what you're thankful for today? 1 sentence, right? You are absolutely expected to participate in those questions. And then, have a conversation with each other as well. In there, if you see someone you thought was cool what they said, comment with them. The other requirement of the group is to post an after workout picture. This is your proof post. You are proving to us that you got your sweat on, that you really did push play today. Now, there's 2 rest days. So for 2 rest days, you can post a picture whatever you want. Post a picture of your Shakeology. Post a picture of a healthy meal. Post a picture of some new shoes that you want to get, new workout shoes. I don't care. But you will do 1 post a day. It's just that some days you won't have a post-workout pic. Then, the only thing about the pictures is I want you guys to comment on at least one other person's picture. And let me just give you a reason. I know it seems like redundant and nitpicky and really down to the just why does it matter? It's really serious, making all these tiny rules. The deal with the commenting on the pictures is creating a balance of give and take in the group. And a lot of times what happens is you're like a Facebook lurker and you read the post and you're like, oh, scrolling on your phone, right? Oh, that's a cool motivational quote. Oh, that person looks sweaty. She got her sweat on. I should probably get my butt up and go do it. I'm all motivated now. So you get all this inspiration. You get the motivational quotes, you get the images, and you're you take it and you go do your thing, right? And you're out in the world. And you're living your positive day. So you took, and that's good. We want you to take. We want to give to you. That's fine. But if you're a person who never says anything back, then you're just being a taker. And I don't want people just taking in the group. You have to give. So if everyone commits to providing 1 post of, answering the question and their picture, and then we all commit to commenting on one other person's thing, this is nice give and take culture where everyone's learning, everyone's providing, and everyone's receiving. And it's a good balance, and you will feel like you're contributing, because you will be, and you'll be making a difference. So that is a requirement that we all are in this together, and we are supporting each other. So those are the rules as far as posting goes. It's not a lot to figure out. I mean, post your picture, answer the question, comment on something. You could do all that in 1 shot if you're super busy and not come back in the group. I know a lot of you guys are really busy, and that's fine. I recommend that if you get a notification that I posted something, that you pop back in. It's probably something important. I don't post too much in the groups, just twice a day usually, maybe 3. So if I post something, you might need to know it. So you get like an email or on your phone, you see it was me, you might want to pop back in and check it out. But it's usually not time sensitive because I realize that you don't have to be in there all day. You can be in there all day. A lot of my groups are just chatter all day long, and that's fantastic. Like, that's great. I'm just saying it doesn't work for everyone, and I understand. I'm opening the checklist right now. So we can go over it real quick. So if you're watching this video, you are on step 8-ish of your checklist, which means you reviewed the nutrition plan and fitness guide that I just went over. You've created your MyFitnessPal account, so you knew what I was talking about when we talked about tracking. You read your commitments, so you understand why I'm telling you all this. You've added your name to the weigh-in document, so you understood what that was about. You have figured out which call you're going to go to and put it on your calendar, so you understood the call information. You have watched the video on how to take your measurements and watched the video on how to take your pictures, and hopefully sent me your pictures and uploaded your measurements to teambeachbody.com. Very commonly that part's done a little bit out of order just because how much it takes time. And your next step after this is going to be to order your book and then text me at 619-567-4779 with your first and last name. That's all I want in there. People are always like trying to send extra stuff. The way that I save the number in my phone when you send it, it's just first and last name, please. And then the last thing is to join our Amber's Fitness workout group and get your workout on and start tracking your workouts, because we will actually give shout outs and stuff on my fitness page for the best, the most workouts, etc. So that's just the getting started checklist. And I'm just going to remind you guys of what the commitments are right now, just so you really get it. There's like no chance that there was confusion. So this is a 60-day program. We're here together for 60 days. It's actually like 63, but you guys get the point. 2 months we're here together. You will drink your Shakeology every single day. You will not randomly skip days. You will not skip multiple days. You will not drink it when you feel like it. You'll drink it every single day. You will follow your meal plan. You will track your food. You will read 1 chapter of personal development per week, starting in week 2. You will post 1 workout picture. After your workout, you will comment on at least 1 other person's post per day. You will weigh in on Friday and Friday only. You will make it to 1 weekly call unless you've explicitly explained that you cannot. And you have committed to your, of course, before 30 and 60-day pics and measurements. So that's all like the informational stuff I have. I know this video is long, but it usually clears up a lot of questions when I explain this kind of stuff. So with that said, I mean, obviously when you're done reading it, if you're done watching it and you still are like, what is going on? Just put questions below. That's fine. I'll answer them. But that's all the like housekeeping type stuff. So I just wanted to stop for a second and let you guys know that I get how big of a deal it is that you are doing this. It can be really scary to reach out to a stranger you don't even know on Facebook, pour out your heart and soul of why you want to work in a challenge group, what your goals are, to even admit to yourself that you want those things. It's scary because once you admit that you want them, you're vulnerable and you might not get them, and that might suck and it might be terrible. Being that kind of vulnerable is scary, and I get that. So I appreciate, 1, that you took the step to reach out. 2, that you were so incredibly open and honest in your challenge group application. 3, that you followed through and you didn't let whatever little roadblocks probably came up, paid not being on the right day or pushback from your spouse or the different things that came up before you got here, you didn't let them stop you. And that you proved me right. You were ready for the group and you are supposed to be here. So that's awesome. And thank you and congratulations. And then, of course, congratulations for being chosen. I mean, I read a lot of applications. Hundreds. And this is definitely the right place for you. So I'm just really excited that you didn't get in your own way and that you're here and that we're going to do this together. I'm really excited. I'm very honored. I take the responsibility of being your coach very seriously because I understand that it is scary and it's something that can be I guess you set yourself up for all sorts of potential disappointment, and I don't want to put you through that. So I will do everything that I can to make sure that you succeed, and this is the thing that you try that actually works. This is permanent, and that we make the changes in your life that you need to make so that you can be the person that you want to be, have the life that you want to have, and build the rest of your life in a healthy, positive manner and enjoy the rest of it. So, thank you. I will, of course, speak to you guys on the weekly calls, and I will see you on Facebook every day. Have an amazing night.